my mom has both made my sister and myself both as payable on down,
Yeah.
like on her IRA.
That's another way around it.
Yeah.
Is instead of splitting up with different accounts, but one and name multiple children on the same one, that kind of avoids that problem. Something like that. It's a nice estate planning tool anymore that you do completely separate from my office as an attorney that does take care of your disposing of who, at least as far as banking things go. What about life insurance policies? What happens to those?
You have beneficiaries. You put the beneficiaries on there, and it goes direct to them, doesn't it?
Again, it's a contract, and if you put a beneficiary on there and you name a person, usually it may be your spouse, it's not going to go to probate, and it's going to go under the contract to whoever that person is that you name. What if you do that when you're young? A lot of times you buy life insurance when you're young. You haven't had children yet, so you just name a spouse. Then you have children, but you forget to name an alternate beneficiary. What happens to your life insurance at that point? Spouse is deceased died before you do.
Don't the kids have to go to court to get that, to request it?
Yeah, you're right. What will happen then is the contract language really has no force of effect. So what happens to the life insurance money is it comes in as an asset of your estate, passes under your will at that point in time, and the children fight over it at that point in time. So it's one of those things. There are a lot of things when you come in and talk to me, I'm going to tell you some of these things that you should be monitoring, because you forget about it. You buy life insurance when you're 20 or 30 and you forget about it, and you don't change those beneficiaries when life changes, things change. I'll walk back to you just a second. What happens if you have life insurance and you leave it to your spouse and you get divorced and you don't change it? What's that? She gets happy later on. How about she divorces you, then you get happy? Actually not, because the law in Ohio is that if you've named your spouse in a will or on a insurance policy or something and forget to change that provision, particularly in a will, and you get divorced, they're cut out at that point. They can't come back later and claim the interest on it.
So how does the life insurance company know that?
You have to tell them, you have to prove it. It's,
I mean, if you're dead.
Yeah.
In many cases, it's who. That's why life insurance companies usually want a copy of the original policy plus a death certificate to do it. But there's situations where that can get snookered on something. They can get snookered on that. But they're supposed to take some steps towards that. And usually, most attorneys will tell you if you go through a divorce situation. It's really not things I do too much of anymore. Will tell you, be sure you change these things. But if you don't, you have at least an argument.